now to talk about that and several other topics is Bakersfield Police Chief Greg Terry. Chief, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Really do appreciate it. I want to first begin with the story in California City. It's on a lot of people's minds, not just people in California City, but including here in Bakersfield. We know that there are groups and organizations that are actually helping in the surge here in town as well. Although we should note that your department is not the lead agency here, are you assisting the California City Police Department in this search?
Good morning, Alex. Thank you for having me. And yes, we are. You know, it's not unusual for law enforcement agencies in the same general area to assist each other in investigations, and certainly one like this that requires a tremendous amount of resources. And yes, to the extent that there are leads and other information that needs to be followed up on in the Bakersfield area, we are certainly doing that. And we've also assisted them in some other areas as well. And I assure you, all of these law enforcement agencies, and I appreciate the public's interest in looking for and wanting to find these two young men, and we will continue to work together to do that.
I want to talk about our homicide rate here in Kern County. 2020 was our deadliest year by far, with 138 homicides in the county. Of course, that a lot of those, of course, were in the city limits of Bakersfield. And within just the first 6 days, well, even before then, I mean, just within the first few days of 2021, we've had 4 homicides already. What are the trends here? Why are we seeing so many homicides in Kern County? Is there something that you're looking at, you and the department are looking at as a possible reason for the increase?
You know, Alex, I wish I had a simple answer for it, but I don't. You know, this last year we saw across the nation spikes in crimes of violence, including homicide and shootings. And unfortunately, our community was no different. You know, homicides in particular are so harmful to our community. The impact never goes away, not for the families and not for the community members, not for the officers that are dealing with firsthand the impact of this violence. And so it is somewhat distressing and frustrating for us as law enforcement leaders who truly want to make the community safer, but the dynamics and the types of incidents specific to homicides make it very difficult for policing strategies to really impact them in a significant way. They're often done spontaneously, like the one that we had right out of the gate this year. We had the double homicide at the motel. That occurred inside of a room, outside of the view of everyone. And very often homicides are like that. And so it's really, really difficult for us to enact a policing strategy specifically to address this. This is a community problem for us, and we are going to need our entire community to step up and help us do this, because there are so many other factors that are related to crimes of violence that policing alone can't address.
How many of these homicides are unsolved?
In 2020, we had 42 homicides, which matches the highest that we've ever had. We also had the same number in 2017. Last year, we solved 25 of the 42 homicides with an arrest or issuing a warrant of the suspects, and we have 17 open investigations from 2020 right now. You know, one of the biggest challenges that we have, and why I say it's a community issue, is because one of the most significant ability or significant factors in us solving homicides is members of the community coming forward, and we need information in order to solve these homicides.
Is there a trend? You know, there's a lot of people in our city, in our county, who are hearing about this high number of homicides. Is there a trend, though? I mean, is this? Can you relate this to gang violence? I mean, what is your message to families in Bakersfield who are concerned about this homicide increase?
Again, you know, I wish I had a simple answer. About 40%, 45% of our homicides every year are gang related. 2020 was about the same. So it was within our historical norms in terms of the levels of gang violence. It's all unacceptable. And like I said, homicides in particular are so harmful to our community, and the impact never goes away. But one of the things that I would tell people is we need the community's help in solving the homicides in particular, but also this is a community issue. There are many factors involved in violence in terms of the economy and economic conditions and poverty, the makeup of families. There are many, many dynamics that are involved long-term in these crimes of violence that can't be impacted by policing alone.
Right.
And one of the additional impacts, not only to the harmful impact to the community, but it absorbs and necessitates, quite frankly, rightfully so, a large number of community resources that we cannot devote to other crimes and other quality of life issues where policing strategies can make a difference in the community. And so it really stretches our resources and is really so harmful to the community, but it is a community-wide problem, and we're going to need to solve it together.
All right, Bakersfield Police Chief Greg Terry joining us this morning. A lot to talk to you about this morning. Really do appreciate you coming on to talk about some of these issues that we all face here in Bakersfield. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right.